Hello. Um, I just wanted to make a video quickly, hopefully quickly. I have a lot of reading to do. I'm taking a break to make this video. And I just wanted to. I've noticed that, first of all, sorry for the facial hair. If I could grow a beard, I might. I can't though, and I'm lazy, so I don't shave often. Plus, they just turned off my gas, so I have to wait, and I have to wait until tomorrow for them to get it on. And I'm not about to shave with cold water. So, you guys get this? I wanted to make a video. I noticed that some people have been having a little dialogue, kind of, about one of my favorite topics. One of my areas of specialty is philosophy of religion, and one of my favorite topics is the Euthyphro dilemma. And I noticed that it has come up recently, mainly because of Theoretical Bullshit's video, to which I may post this as a response. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I think religious folk can or should answer the Euthyphro dilemma. And I know it's sort of in style right now among Christian apologists and Christian thinkers in general to just deny that the Euthyphro dilemma is a dilemma at all. A lot of them just want to say that it's not. It's a false choice. It's a false choice. They're objective because they're grounded. Morality, that is objective because it's grounded in God's nature, and this doesn't undercut God as the supreme authority in any way. So that's sort of like, very roughly what a lot of people want to do. But to me, it seems like the obvious choice is, so there's two choices in the Euthyphro dilemma, right? Is morality good because God commanded it, or did God command it because it's good, right? The idea is that if he commanded it because it's good, there's a higher authority on morality than God, and if it's just good because he commanded it, then it's arbitrary. And this is supposed to be, problematic, and it's a little problematic, I think. But for me, clearly the religious believer, I mean, for me anyway, should without hesitation choose that morality is good because God commanded it. This seems, on inspection, to me anyway, entirely unproblematic. In fact, I don't really know exactly what people mean when they say that morality is arbitrary under these conditions. What does that mean exactly? Are you just saying? I feel like people just say, "Oh, it's arbitrary," and then that's supposed to be the dagger, but they don't. No one ever really explains why. I mean, arbitrary in the sense that they could be different. Because if that's all it is, then I don't know of any moral system that has it any better. Except maybe Kantianism. But even then, it might get. I could see it getting sticky. But for utilitarianism, for example, it seems like, I mean, there are tons of ways utilitarianism is arbitrary. Just why should we value pleasure in the first place? Is to me sort of one of the main problems. It just seems like just picking pleasure or whatever it is, or whatever utilitarian goal you set for yourself. To my mind, anything you pick is arbitrary. And I think maybe Theoretical Bullshit touched on this in his video, and I think he just brushed it off and said, "Yeah, of course it's arbitrary. Who cares?" Something like this. Maybe I just totally made that up, but that is a response that I hear sometimes. Well, yeah, it's arbitrary, but no. So why, if it's okay to be arbitrary, if you're a utilitarian in choosing what your goal is, and then basing your moral principles off of that goal, i.e., that you should always maximize whatever this good is and try to avoid the opposite of it in all your actions, why is it not okay for when God, dictates morality? It seems like strange. It seems strange. I don't know. And first of all, I don't even know if it is arbitrary. I mean, in any sort of meaningful sense. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe it could be different, like sort of logically. It's not logically necessary, but it's not arbitrary. So even if God is just choosing the morality that he wants, for whatever reason he wants it, doesn't matter. That doesn't mean choices aren't arbitrary necessarily. I mean, if I chose, if I was put in a position where I got to pick 5 movies that I think everyone in the world should watch, and I picked those 5 movies, my choice wouldn't necessarily be arbitrary. Presumably I would put some thought into it. And I know it's different because the argument is, well, if God's putting thought into it, what is it that he is thinking about? Is he thinking about the sort of transcendent principles of good in the universe? In which case, you fall into the second problem. So it's not quite the same. But I really don't think a lot of people give this very much thought. They just say, oh, it's arbitrary, and then discussion over. I don't really see how it is. It could be different, yeah. But so what? I mean, and that part of the argument is where people say, oh, well, so God could just say that genocide and rape are right, and they would be good, and those things would be good. Those things would be moral. Yes. I mean, for me, yeah. You just say yes. You bite the bullet, because if we're taking seriously what it would mean for a transcendent creator of the universe God to be issuing moral commands, then fucking yes, he gets to pick whatever. If that's what he picked, then that would be right. And the only reason it seems weird is because we live in a universe where, on the Christian worldview, or the religious, this could apply to Islam as well, he didn't pick those things. And that's the only and so he's instilled in us certain moral intuitions, certain yada yada yada, and so those things seem repugnant to us. But in some alternate universe or some possible world, if we want to say, where God did choose that rape and genocide are moral, then those things would be moral. And we have no way of understanding or even thinking about what that world would be like for us in it, or what that world would look like, because we're not in it. It's like these are like two ethical paradigms almost. Where in one paradigm we have this view of what the good is, and it's generally something like not causing pain or yada yada yada. But if again, if we're assuming God exists on the Christian worldview, if he had decided that these other things were good and were moral, then they wouldn't seem immoral to us if we were in that world. So the only reason this argument has any kind of weight behind it is because of the moral intuitions that we do have, and those are totally explainable on a Christian worldview. So I don't see what the problem is exactly. I think, unambiguously, if you're religious, and I keep saying Christian, if you're religious and an atheist in the sort of way that a Christian or a Muslim is, and you think the Euthyphro dilemma is a problem for you, I don't think again, because I think that there's literally no problem whatsoever with choosing the arbitrary option. And I've yet to hear a compelling reason why you shouldn't pick it.